Okay, let's paint a picture here.
Yeah.
Imagine you're in that dizzying, just intoxicating rush of deep admiration.
Mm-hmm. The spotlight.
Exactly, the spotlight. Someone is pursuing you, and I mean with this relentless enthusiasm, praising your every move.
Telling you that you are 100% the answer to everything they've been looking for.
Yes, and it feels absolutely incredible. But then, right in the middle of that glow, there's this tiny nagging feeling in your gut.
Something feels off.
Yeah, something feels off. You realize they like you, they really, really do, but it's like they don't actually see you.
And that feeling, that friction between being adored but also being completely invisible, that's what we're getting into today. Because when that happens, you've stopped being the main character in your own story.
You're just playing a role.
You are playing a very carefully managed role in someone else's movie. They aren't falling for the real, messy, living, breathing you. They're in love with a fantasy they built.
So that's our mission for this deep dive. We want to give you the signs, the actual evidence you need to spot that fantasy trap.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to unpack the 6 big differences between a real, grounded connection and just, well, having an audience.
Right. The signs that show you're being loved for a projection, not for who you actually are. And the first set of signs, they all have to do with speed and, frankly, the shallowness of it all.
The speed is almost always the first clue, isn't it?
Almost always.
Which brings us to sign number 1. They fall fast, but they don't fall deep.
Yes.
It's like they skip the entire foundation building part of a relationship. You've barely had a real complex conversation.
Right. About your past, your fears, what you actually want.
And they're already calling you perfect. They're already saying you're the soulmate they've been waiting for their whole life.
And that intensity, that rush is actually a well-known psychological mechanism. We call it idealization.
Idealization.
Mm-hmm. The person is literally projecting all their hopes, their unmet needs, their whole fantasy onto you.
So it's not even about you.
Not really. It's about how well you fit into a space they already had carved out for someone. They're not collecting data about you. They're just seeing if you fit the costume.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's like ordering a custom-made suit just by glancing at someone from across the room.
That's a great way to put it. The intention might feel good, but the process is completely missing the actual details.
And what's interesting is that this often ties back to attachment styles, right?
Yeah.
People with more, say, anxious or avoidant tendencies can be more prone to this kind of flash fire intensity.
Exactly. It feels like love, but it's really a rush of adrenaline and need. It's not a stable foundation.
And if they fall for the surface,
Then they're only going to admire the surface,
Yeah.
which leads right into the second sign. They admire your presentation, but they don't actually know your true self.
they love the highlight reel.
Oh, they're laser focused on the highlight reel. Your smile, your success at work, your energy, the things people can see.
But they never really ask about the quiet stuff.
Yeah.
You know, the fears that keep you up at 3 a.m, the doubts you have about your own future, they just skip right over the messy internal world where you actually live.
It's pure surface level validation. They connect with what's easy, what's beautiful, what's convenient about you, and they actively avoid the heavy lifting of real intimacy.
And the consequence for you is
Yeah.
you feel constantly watched,
Observed, yeah?
but never, ever understood.
And we know what we do then.
Oh, yeah. You start filtering yourself. You learn to smile a little wider. You talk a little less about what's actually bothering you.
Because you're terrified that if you show the real, complicated you, the whole beautiful image they have will just shatter.
And that quiet compromise, that pressure that leads us right into the second big theme we found.
Pressure of the pedestal, it's immense.
And sign number 3 just lays it out perfectly. They praise you, like, intensely, but for things that aren't even fully true, like, you're so easygoing, or you're always so positive, or, my favorite, you're so low maintenance.
What sounds like a compliment is actually a cage. It's a set of rules.
It's pressure, because you know, deep down, you're not always easygoing. You get overwhelmed, you overthink.
He needs support.
Exactly, and that praise isn't really acceptance. It's telling you what you need to be to keep the affection coming.
It's a tightrope walk. You're up on this pedestal, and the unspoken rule is stay up here, make it look easy, and we're good.
But the second you wobble,
The admiration falters. This connects to something called object relations theory. People who idealize, they struggle with what's called splitting.
splitting, what's that?
They can't hold both sides of a person at once. They can't see the good, the easy, agreeable parts and the complex, messy, demanding parts. at the same time.
So they can only handle the clean version.
The sanitized version.
Yeah.
And the price of their admiration is your full humanity. You have to choose. Stay convenient or stay true.
Which is just a heartbreaking choice.
Mm-hmm.
And it leads directly to sign number 4. You start hiding your needs just to stay lovable. You desperately want to be honest, to say, hey, that hurts, or this isn't working for me. But something holds you back.
It's a deep-seated fear. You just know that the moment you become too much,
Too emotional, too needy.
the affection will just vanish. It'll get turned off.
So you're living with this constant threat of withdrawal.
Which is what we call conditional acceptance. Their love has terms and conditions. And we learn this early, you know? We learn to trade our authenticity for attachment.
We shrink.
We shrink, we smooth things over, we smile through pain. It's a survival strategy we learned, but it's not love.
And when you realize you're silencing yourself just to keep someone else's idea of you alive,
Yeah,
that's not a relationship, that's self-abandonment.
it is. Which brings us to the final and maybe the most painful part of this, the loneliness of the adored.
Yeah. Sign number 5, just. It captures that feeling perfectly. You feel adored, but you are completely misunderstood.
On the outside, it all looks perfect. The compliments are flowing, the attention is there. But inside,
It's hollow. There's this empty, isolating feeling that just keeps growing.
and this is the distinction we have to make. Being adored is not the same as being known.
Say that again.
Being adored is not the same as being known. You're getting attention, but not attunement. Affection, but not intimacy.
They love the highlight reel you post online.
Exactly. But who is there loving the messy, complicated human parts, the self-doubt, the past pain that you're still working through?
Nobody. Because they're admiring you from a safe distance.
And the devastating irony is you can feel so profoundly alone, right in the center of all that attention.
It's a terrible paradox, isn't it? You're the center of their world, but you feel like an extra in your own life.
And that gap, that emotional distance, it always comes to a head. It has to. Which brings us to the final sign, number 6.
The moment of truth.
The moment of truth. The second you start to grow, they pull away.
You start setting a boundary. You speak up for what you actually need. You start to heal, to become more authentically you.
And suddenly, the whole dynamic shifts. They get colder, less interested.
The affection starts to dry up. Why does that happen?
Because your growth breaks their illusion. They fell in love with a static character, the quiet, agreeable, easy-to-manage version of you.
And your evolution forces them to face the real person.
A person who is complex, who changes, who won't stay in the neat little box they built. Your boundaries are a threat to their fantasy.
So they have to make a choice.
A very clear choice. Either adapt to a real relationship with all its messiness and compromise, or retreat back to the safety of the fantasy.
And if they retreat, if they just fade away the moment you start to live your truth,
Then you have to understand this. That is not your failure.
it's a sign.
It is the clearest sign that you are outgrowing a cage that someone else mistook for a connection.
So the people who loved the role you were playing,
Yeah,
they just can't love the real person you're becoming.
they can't or they won't. And the stakes here are just, they're so high. You are not asking for too much by wanting to be fully seen.
You're not being difficult.
Not at all. You're just asking for something real, something mutual, something that doesn't require you to cut off pieces of yourself to earn affection.
At the end of the day, you shouldn't have to perform to be loved.
You shouldn't. The right people won't fall for a fantasy.
No.
They're going to fall in love with your whole story. The light and the shadow, the easy parts and the really, really complicated ones.
So I guess the final challenge, the thought we want to leave you with is this. It takes so much courage and patience to wait for the kind of love that can actually meet you where you are right now, today.
Without asking you to change your voice or dim your light or silence your needs just to keep them around.
Because that's the only kind of acceptance that's actually worth having.